Hello and welcome to Utility Sports. Today's video, we will be looking at the NFL uniform rankings that I have compiled. This is looking at the holistic uniform itself. We are including the helmet, the jersey, and the pants. So jumping in at number 32 will be the Washington football team. The thing that really hurts them here is obviously they don't have a team name or a true identity anymore. They still have the same colors that they once had with the Redskins name. However, they are just a Washington football team now. So that kind of takes away from the uniform itself. I mean, it's not terrible in general, but just not having that team name or identity really hurts them. 31 is the Green Bay Packers. I'm just not a big fan of the color combination of the yellow and the green. It is a historic jersey. I do understand that. It's pretty plain overall. However, I'm just not the biggest fan of the Green Bay uniform. Very plain G for the logo. And this is going to kind of fall under, you're going to see a little bit of a theme here. Some of the historic teams such as Chicago will be down here as well. 30, it is Cleveland. And Cleveland just came out with new uniforms, which is basically the old uniforms they had before their prior stint here with a more modernized Cleveland look. So that's kind of their issue right now is they went back to this look that's synonymous with losing and losing a lot. So that's why I have Cleveland at this spot here. I'm not a big fan of the look, not a big fan of the brown and orange combination. So overall, Cleveland to me is not the best. I did like their prior jerseys that they had. Some people would not agree. I liked how they had the Cleveland over the top of the numbers. Just not a big fan of the brown and orange, how it's laid out currently with this jersey. And at 29, we have Chicago, and they are kind of that same thing as Green Bay. They have the historic look. They haven't changed their jerseys hardly at all over their franchise's history. So that's kind of where I'm at with Chicago, very plain. The orange and navy doesn't do a lot for me. I do kind of like the font of the numbers. I'll give them credit for that. And the stripe with the orange stripe down the side with the navy stripes surrounding that orange stripe. So it's not the worst jersey. I'm just not a fan of the historic look, unfortunately. If I'm just going off of pure appeal, however, that's why I have Chicago so low. 28, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Very, very plain jersey. Their prior jerseys were a lot better than their current ones here. However, I'm not a big fan of the look itself. Their teal just kind of looks a little weird on field at times. Very plain and generic numbers. You got the Jacksonville little patch on near the shoulder. And it's an okay jersey. Like their helmets look fine and everything, but honestly, I was a bigger fan of their prior jerseys. Their black jerseys are okay, and their white jerseys are okay with the white, but just the teal on the field doesn't look the greatest to me. And now at 27, we have the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos have another historic look. They haven't changed their jerseys a lot, haven't made a lot of alterations to them. Just not a big fan of the orange and navy blue look. For this jersey in particular, the orange is a little much for me. It's very, very bright and vibrant. Just for me, I'm just not the biggest fan. I do kind of like how they have a unique font compared to other teams, because this font isn't really anything close to what other teams have. 26 is the Indianapolis Colts. They made some alterations to the number. It kind of looks like more blocky towards the end of the numbers, which I do kind of like that addition, but overall their uniforms are very plain. Not a lot going on with the jersey, the white helmet with the gray face mask. It's not the best look overall. Nothing too bad to say about their jersey. It's just a little plain to me. However, it's an okay look for what their logo is and colors are. It's an okay look. That's pretty much what you can do with it. I would have loved to seen kind of like the holes on the number towards the end, like they had kind of advertised on the blocky part. If you could have put a few holes like the horseshoe has, I think that would have done a lot for them. On the next jersey is the Arizona Cardinals. As you can see, it's a pretty generic look. Once again, they haven't changed their jerseys for quite a few years now. This kind of gives me a lot of Kurt Warner vibes and everything. Not a bad look by any means, but a little plain for me. Their white helmet's okay. Gray face mask. I feel like they could have done a little more with the helmet itself or the jersey, added a few more lines or something. It's an okay jersey. The font's fine, but a little bland for me yet. Next, we have the New York Jets, who just rebranded a couple of years ago here. I do like the New York style on top of the numbers. The Jets, it's okay. They remind me a lot of the CFL jerseys of the Rough Riders. So that it's hard for me to kind of get past thinking that and that thought process. However, their jerseys are okay. Their helmets, I do kind of like the color of their helmets. I just wish they'd kind of go back to the actual Jet as their logo, but fine jerseys overall. Next, we have the New York Giants. As you can see, the deep blue helmet, the red stripe, and then the plain blue and white jerseys. I would like to see the red part incorporated a little more into their jerseys. I think that would have propelled them here. And overall, pretty plain for their jerseys. Not a lot going on. You got the New York right above the 21 of Jabril Peppers here. They have okay jerseys, so we're starting to progress towards a little bit better jerseys. And the next team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers went through a rebrand this past year. I think they did a nice job. Their prior jerseys were probably the worst in the league. Here's the pewter jerseys. They also have the red jerseys and the white jerseys. Mainly so far this year, they've used those white jerseys quite a bit, which they're probably my favorite of the group. I think Tampa looks pretty good in them, and I'm glad they made the change that they did because it was much needed, and obviously want to have a fresh look for the Tom Brady era. Next is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, might get a little flack for this one, but they are the historic look. They got the Steeler logo on one side of the helmet, plain on the other side of the helmet. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of that. I do understand like they are a unique franchise and they've had it like this for years and years. So I understand not making the change, but just strictly off of looks, the black and yellow kind of look, kind of that Pittsburgh theme. Obviously the Pittsburgh Pirates have that black and yellow look. Interesting font, and you got the yellow pants. Overall, it's an okay jersey. At least they are better than some of the historic ones that we've seen so far. Next is the LA Rams. A lot of people don't like these. Some people really like them. There's a lot of discrepancy on this jersey. A lot of people, if you ask them, they would have them 31 or 32. However, I think that they are a little bit better than that. I kind of like the fade from the white to the yellow. It kind of has a gradient look. The actual Ram horn, I don't like how it's really broke up like that, but I understand the concept. And overall, they're okay jerseys. Once again, we're kind of in this middle tier where they're not bad, they're not great. I do kind of like the blue, how they mix that blue with the current yellow. The thing I really don't like about this jersey is they match so much of what the Chargers are, almost kind of taking that yellow look. Obviously, theirs is a little deeper than what the Chargers have. However, I just don't agree with having kind of the same colors in the same city when you're both kind of fighting for an identity in that new city, considering that they're both very new to the area. So that's kind of my issue with the Rams. However, I don't think they're as bad as people say they are. Next is the Seattle Seahawks. Genuinely liked a lot over the league. It's kind of a tired look for me. I remember they were the new hot jerseys in the NFL. They do have the lime green, which was very popular during the time that it came out. These jerseys, you got the navy. You have the interesting pattern over the top of the helmet in the middle, and you kind of have like the matte look outside of that. Overall, pretty solid jerseys. They're unique. They were fun. They were flashy. They kind of fell a little bit. I'm sure if I would have done this ranking a couple of years ago, they would be higher. However, I mean, it's been synonymous with winning, and obviously I think that's going to be the look that they keep moving forward. So overall, Seattle was kind of ahead of their time when they had the lime green. I think they did a pretty good job overall, and it's honestly it's not a bad jersey. I like them quite a bit. Next team is the Kansas City Chiefs. What I really like about the Chiefs is having the red with red. I'm a big fan of red, and they were somehow able to make the yellow work with the red. They just have it accent the red enough to where it's not overbearing, but it's also kind of pleasant to look at. I do like the yellow outline across the white numbers. I also really like the white face mask with the red helmet. I think they did a phenomenal job with these jerseys, and their away jerseys are nice as well. So nice job to Kansas City with these jerseys. Up next is the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have an interesting combination. They have the red, white, and blue. They've had these jerseys for quite some time now. The Buffalo looks cool. I really like the Buffalo on the helmet and the Buffalo right above Josh Allen's eyes that you can see. You got the red stripe and the blue stripe right across the middle of the helmet. I really like the jersey itself. The blue looks very nice with the red. It's not too loud. It's not too busy. I kind of like what's going on with the shoulders, and around the neck has the white stripe, the white big stripe. That's pretty good. I think they did a pretty nice job on this, and it hasn't really, I haven't really gotten tired of them. I think it's a good jersey. Next is the Minnesota Vikings, who also went through a rebrand years ago. They were able to go with a matte look for their helmet. They used to have the deep purple. Now it's kind of that matte purple. They have the shiny logo on the helmet. Honestly, I think it's a very good jersey. The colors just work. They finally got it where their helmet matched their jersey, because before it did not match. You got to really like the numbers with how it has a little bit of a tail on the first number, and the second number is a little more uniform, and it's not so wild, I guess. It kind of reminds me just like their ship, the curvature of the one kind of reminds me of the ship that they have as a stadium essentially, and the ship they have outside of the stadium. So kind of having that little flair to the numbers does a lot for me. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the purple and gold color combo. I think it looks really nice. Next is the Carolina Panthers. Honestly, once again, they've had these jerseys for quite some time. They have the beautiful silver helmets. They have the teal jerseys at home. They also wear the black jerseys at home. I think that their stripe is nice on the shoulders. Honestly, like their black jerseys are just phenomenal. They have great branding. The Panther looks beautiful on the helmet. Not too much going on again with this jersey. That's kind of the key. Not too much going on. And honestly, I think that their jerseys are great. I really like the black ones, but the teal are also phenomenal. So, I mean, for quite some time during Cam Newton's era, they were the hot jersey. That's what, people wanted to buy was these Panther jerseys. And honestly, I think they should, continue to still be a very popular jersey in terms of sales. Obviously, they're going to be a little down this year considering Christian McCaffrey's hurt. So I fully anticipate next year they will be in the top 10 with one of their players, likely Christian McCaffrey. The next team is the Dallas Cowboys, the iconic Dallas Cowboys. Probably going to get a little bit of heat for this one, having them this high. I just love the silver helmets, and especially this jersey itself. Their alternate, it just looks phenomenal. It looks beautiful. The Dallas Cowboys have their signature white home jerseys, and then they'll wear this on the road, but they'll also wear their white ones on the road. It kind of depends on the situation. I shouldn't say this is an alternate. This is just one of the normal jerseys that they wear. I love the white stripe down the middle, also surrounded by the navy stripes. This is one of the best looking jerseys in my opinion. This one specifically. Their main home jersey that they normally wear is a little plain, but this jersey does so much for me. The next team is the Philadelphia Eagles. One thing that I really like about this jersey is you have the wings on the helmet. That's such a signature look, such a beautiful look. They have unique numbers, and they didn't try to do too much with it. And I'm glad that they didn't, because you have the eagle on the shoulder, and they just have a phenomenal look with the helmet. I think the helmet's, honestly, one of the big things for me. in terms of where they're at in the rankings. They also have the black accenting the green. You can't really see it, but that's okay because it just looks good anyway. They also have their alternate black jerseys, which look really good. Philly has great branding. Next team is the San Francisco 49ers, another historic team. There's not a lot going on with the jersey, but it just works. For some reason, they were able to get red and gold to work somehow. Their helmets are phenomenal. Their logo is boring itself, but it's just a signature look. It's a historic look. Surprisingly, they weren't kind of bunched with the Green Bay and the Chicagos down there. I think it looks really great with the gold pants and the red jersey and the gold helmet. San Francisco nailed it when they made these jerseys. I think they did a great job, and it kind of embodies, who they are. And it's a little plain, you have a little bit of white stripes on the shoulder, but I think overall it just works for them. Next team is the Houston Texans. First thing I'd like to say, I really like the stripes going across the shoulder. Also around the collar is the red look. What I really like about this jersey is their helmet looks awesome. The Texan is one of my favorite logos in the NFL. And also the white numbers with the navy jersey just looks phenomenal. And I really like the red outline. They did a nice job really balancing all the different colors into the jersey, and it's a great look. Next team is the Cincinnati Bengals. Some people wouldn't agree with this one being that high, but the black and orange is just a great look for football. They did a phenomenal job with the outline of the orange on the white 9. I really like the Bengals stripes on the shoulders, and obviously the helmet's got full of the black Bengal stripes, and their pants look good as well. For the Bengals, the one thing I wish is that they didn't have, their signature no logo look on their helmet. Honestly, if you could have put the B or the Bengals B on there, or their alternate logo, which is the actual Bengal itself kind of stretched out, I think that would have been a great look on the helmet. However, they opted to go with the Bengal stripes, which is unique, so I'll kind of give them a little bit of credit for that. Next is the Tennessee Titans. Honestly, I was not a big fan when they first came out with it because I like the old traditional jerseys. However, the navy looks great. I think the navy helmet with the navy jersey with a little bit of gray and the white numbers, I think it just looks phenomenal. I love the font of the Titans above the numbers. I also really like the font of the numbers themselves, and they got the classic Tennessee Titans look. I think they absolutely nailed this jersey. Props to Tennessee for this one. The next team is the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, they kind of kept it simple. They got a nice deep color purple. They got the big raven on there, and they also have the purple stripes going on the helmet. I think their font's pretty awesome with what they have, and they kind of got that little dirty gold look. I don't know exactly what you would call it. And they also they look phenomenal. I think both their home and aways look good. Plus, they also had the black alternates, which is really key in all of this. The black alternates just look awesome for almost any team. I think Baltimore nailed it. They haven't had to really make any changes, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't opt to go with the state flag look. Like, they do have kind of the state flag representation on the shoulder sleeve anyway. Kind of like the University of Maryland did. I don't like what the University of Maryland did with their helmets and everything. I'm glad they kept it to the Raven theme and kept a bird theme. Next team is the Oakland Raiders, a classic look. Once again, they kind of don't fall under that classic looks that I don't like. I love the silver helmet. That's really a big pull for me, is the silver helmets. Silver face mask and just that black look with the gray numbers, or silver numbers, I should say. I love their logo, and I love just overall, they just look like a mean football team, and I love it. They have a toughness factor to them. Once again, I think Las Vegas Raiders, I've been calling them Oakland. Las Vegas Raiders did a phenomenal job with these jerseys when they designed them. Next team is the New England Patriots. They actually would have been probably number one if they hadn't made the changes to their jerseys recently in this past year. I'm not a fan of the navy on navy color rush look and the stripes over the top of the shoulders. Not a big fan of that. But you really can't beat the silver helmet and the red face mask and the classic Patriot look. I understand they had to kind of move away from the Tom Brady era look, but I honestly thought those were the best jerseys in football. So not super pumped about what they made for changes. However, they still remain up in the top tier. The next team is the Miami Dolphins, a vibrant, fun football team. They changed their logo. You know, that was years back. However, I love the new logo. Looks a little more mean, a little more sleek. You got the kind of the sun going around the dolphin, and their white face mask, white helmet. I love the look, and their jerseys just look beautiful. That kind of teal look. I don't know how to really describe that jersey other than teal. And also they got the orange to kind of accent that. They don't add too much of the orange. Just looks phenomenal. Miami absolutely killed their design, and having Miami above their eyes on the helmet looks so good. So props to Miami. Now, this is probably the most controversial one on here. It is the Atlanta Falcons. I really like the black matte helmet. I really enjoyed the enlarging of the Falcon logo. I think their number font's unique. I think it's fun. And they also kind of went against the grain of what people thought were bad with the gradient look on their one jersey. I'm honestly a big fan of it. I like when Jacksonville did that with their helmets. However, Atlanta looks pretty good. I would say like every single one of their jerseys I would purchase because they have a clean look. They got the ATL on top of their numbers in the front of their jersey. Once again, props to Atlanta. They were not afraid to be bold with their changes. A lot of people didn't like it, but there was a handful that did, and I am a part of that group. Next is the LA Chargers. Obviously, when you have a lightning bolt, you're going to have a chance in these rankings. You have the lightning bolt. They also made changes to their jerseys, obviously. They have the number 10 or whatever number they wear just below that. That gives me some college vibes. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the number below the logo. Also, you have the bolt on the shoulder, and like their numbers look like lightning kind of in a way. Well, I should say the one. Like not every number has that sharp look. As you can see in Justin Jackson over there, does not have that sharp edges. But I really do like the number one for them anyway. Just clean jerseys. I love the yellow and the blue look together. Their current blue. I think this is a phenomenal jersey. The next team is the Detroit Lions. Once again, a hotter take on my part. I love their helmets. Their helmets are really what got them to this point. The silver helmet with the blue lion, it just looks great. Also, I love the stripes over the top of the helmet. The gray face mask just really works. And they made an update to their jerseys, and that was a worthwhile update. I really like the shoulders on them, the gray pants. I think Detroit honestly got it right with their new jerseys because they just look great. Once again, I think that's going to be a hotter take. I'd like to hear in the comments where you would have Detroit, but I am a big fan of the direction that they're going with their jerseys. And finally, number one, we have New Orleans. As New Orleans, they just have a clean look. I love the black look. You got the black pants, you got the black jersey, you got it accented with the gold and the gold helmet, and the New Orleans logo looks phenomenal. You got the nice white stripe down the middle, surrounded by two black stripes. Honestly, they're a hard team to try to dethrone. A lot of people do have the Chargers, but I really don't know if you can beat the black look at home. They're a tough team to play in these jerseys, I can tell you that. That really has nothing to do with the actual aesthetic look of it, but I just think they look great. They have the New Orleans logo on the shoulder and the numbers on top. Props to New Orleans because this is a great jersey. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think. Who is too high? Who is too low? Honestly, I'd love your feedback, and obviously no person's really going to have the same ranking. So I respect whatever opinions that you do have. So leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed just watching the video. That'd be very much appreciated.